Janice B is a singer, songwriter, Reiki master teacher, crystal healer, mom, wife, auntie, and best friend. I started singing because of my family. My grandmother was a pianist and a singer, and my mother was also a singer. When I was a little girl, I would stand by my grandmother's piano and she would play anything that I wanted to sing. So she kind of encouraged me to perform and get out there and express myself. So she was the beginning, and I actually dedicated my first CD, My Life, to her, and it has a clip of her playing piano and me singing at the very beginning of the CD. So I just grew up with a family that always had song around. We were always singing around the piano. We were always, the whole family would do that, you know, holidays. And I went on not knowing this was something that was not what everybody does, and I would sing at home and make songs up when I was little, and then I didn't really realize that was something that was a gift and a talent until I was much older and later in life and started to become a recording artist. I have a lot of musical influences, I guess starting with my grandmother, because she was such a showman, and she would know how to work the crowd, and people would come into the venue and she would play their song for them when they walked in the door. So whatever she was doing, she would segue into somebody else's song. So I think working, knowing her and growing up with her opened me up to all different styles of music. And my mother really did not put any kind of restriction on what kind of music I could listen to growing up. So I was fortunate to come up through go-go music. I'm from DC, so we had go-go music, through P-Funk, through Prince, through Luther Vandross. All those people were an influence in my life. I guess lyrically, I would say Rochelle Farrell, Sade. I'm compared to Sade a lot. I think it's just more for the raspy voice, but definitely Sade, Sarah McLachlan. I love the lyrics and the songwriting skills of those artists. But I'm also inspired by like Rakim and rappers like that. So I get inspiration from a lot of different places musically. And I think that's good because you don't have that label. You can kind of go anyway. A lot of people don't know about my first CD, so it's kind of an interesting question. I did start working as a recording artist and a writer in 2001, I believe, with a coworker, and we put a CD of original songs together. And we did make a CD, but it never really went to print. So that was my first CD. It was called Never Be the Same. And that was a great process. It was the first time I had ever been in the studio. It was the first time I had ever actually written something and had a melody and had someone play an instrument to it and recorded it, in a full production. So it was pretty exciting. But I guess technically my first CD, mainstream, if you will say indie mainstream, was Watch Me Fly, which was my EP that came out with Stinky Face Music in 2009. And that was a great experience as well, because by then I had had several years of journal entries of songs and ideas that I wanted to put out. And initially I just went into the studio to record things and have them down just for my own pleasure. And Maurice Carroll of Stinky Face Music said, why don't you sign with the label and we'll put this out under the label. So that's kind of how it all happened and how it started here in Baltimore. My most recent CD, Mantra, was a whole different process in the studio. I brought in Masno Amosiki, who is a local artist here. He's from Sudan, and he has a whole different style to work with Maurice as well on this production. This CD is different because it has healing elements. Now that I'm a Reiki master teacher, I wanted to do a project that had songs that had a healing element, whether it was just the vibe of the song, the instrumentation. There are some songs that have chants through them, or at the end or the beginning, to kind of give a raised vibration and a healing vibration to the people that listen to it. So the whole process was different. We went in kind of raw. I had ideas for songs and I didn't always have the exact melody. So between Maurice and Masno bringing their styles together with what I wanted to do, it was different because we had his influence as well as, I've been working with Maurice for a while. So I have the keys influence in there, but to have Masno come in, we call him the desert. He's like a desert rock star. He kind of came in and gave it that smooth Middle Eastern kind of feel. So I'm really pleased with the way it came out, but it was definitely a very different experience from the other CDs I did. Yes, in addition to music, I have become certified as a Reiki master teacher. I started 2 years ago. I've been practicing for a while, and I received my certification at the beginning of 2017 as a master teacher. So I have been teaching students in Usui Reiki and Holy Fire Reiki, and I treat clients, and I'm also a crystal healer, so I implement that as well. And with the new CD mantra, we are bringing the Reiki and healing world into my music world. So those things are slowly coming together. This year 2018 will be the year that we're bringing that together officially in workshops that you'll be able to see on my website. You can find me in Reiki World, www.JaniceBReiki, and Reiki is spelled REIKI.com. And of course, Music World, I'm JaniceBmusic.com. So it's Janice B everything. There's so many people I would want to work with. I think if I could pick somebody who's no longer here anymore that I think is just an icon to work with, it would have to be Prince. I think just he would be able to do anything, and to be able to work with that mind would be awesome. So coming up, as far as future projects, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be bringing Reiki and my music world, the CD mantra, together with a live band experience possibly, and doing healing workshops with that incorporated with the music. So that's definitely something that's in the works. Possibly another project, another house music project with Dinga Gaba here in Baltimore. And I do have a couple tracks that I'm working on with some international artists in South Africa. So everything's kind of in the new stages right now, but definitely want to get some of those out this year. There's so many people I could thank. I don't even know where to begin. I would have to say my family first. My husband is definitely very supportive of everything I do, music and Reiki wise, and I have quit my corporate job now, so he's definitely a big supporter of my dreams, which is awesome. As far as support here, and thank you to people in Baltimore, I really have a great circle of artists and friends and people in the scene who constantly support my music and constantly, are there for me and inspiring me. So I definitely have to thank them. Certainly Stinky Face Music and Maurice and Global Diplomacy, Dinga Gaba, and all the producers who have given me the opportunity to express myself. And now, as a Reiki master, I have to also thank the healing community. There's a great circle of healers and light workers in the Baltimore area, in the DMV, who have held me up and held space for me to find my way and really kind of walk in my purpose. So 2018 is definitely a great year, and it's going to be a lot different for me, but it definitely feels right, and I'm very excited about that. So thank you everybody who's been a part of that.